Hi, church. It's Teresa Kimball. I know that everybody watching this video probably already knows me, but I am Phil Kimball's wife, who is one of the elders at Greenwood Park. We have worshiped at Greenwood Park since we were college students before we were married in the 70s. We got married in 75, and our anniversary's next Saturday. We will have been married 45 years. So anyway, our relationship is kind of going to be symbolized in what I'm getting ready to tell you. I called Ryan yesterday to see if I could tell this story because it's just, I consider it a modern day miracle. I told him that I felt like it would encourage everybody during this time of uncertainty and needing comfort and the pandemic and so forth, that it's just good news, and it's a story that I absolutely love to tell. It's going to be a long story. I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but it's just such an encouraging story, I think, and a lot of you all already know it, but I just felt like I needed to share it, so I asked him if I could, and he said that I could. So, in the late 80s, Phil gave me a ring, and the ring had 7 marquee diamonds in it. And there was a large one in the center, and then they went down, graduating in size. So I wore that approximately 24 years. And Phil bought me another ring to replace it. So I didn't want to wear both of them. So I decided in 2004 is when he gave me the new ring. And then I decided about a year or two, maybe 2 years after that, to go ahead and take that first ring and make it into a necklace. So in about 05 or 06, I made it into a necklace, and I wore it for several years. Well, I forgot until I looked at a picture that was taken May the 23rd of 2015. I forgot about that necklace, and I hadn't seen it, and I hadn't worn it in some time. So I just kind of put it out of my mind, and I thought, you know, I've lost it, I've misplaced it. Everybody kept telling me, Teresa, it'll probably show up. So 3 years later, after May 23rd of 15, Phil was pulling into his office downtown, and he backed into a pole, bless his heart. He really did. He backed into a pole at his office, and so he had so much damage on it that he decided rather than fix it, he would just go ahead and trade it. So when he was in the process of trading that car, he was cleaning out the glove box. And so at the bottom of the glove box, in this bag, plastic bag, was my necklace. And so I realized that on May 23rd of 15, which was my granddaughter's birthday, I had it there at the lake celebrating with Bella on her birthday. I had decided not to wear it home because I think I was getting ready to sleep or rest or something in the car. So I put it in this baggie and then dropped it down in the glove box of the car that he had damaged. So there is where it stayed for 3 years. And then he found it on October the 17th of 18. Well, on January the 30th of 19, so from October, November, December, January, I have this necklace. So I go on Wednesday, January 13th of 2019 to Posh to get my hair cut. Well, while I'm there, I had on a particular top, and I decided to try on a top that Posh sold there, which was a black turtleneck sweatshirt. So I put the turtleneck sweatshirt on with the necklace on under it and decided, okay, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy this. So the necklace was uncomfortable, and I unlasped it in the back, and somebody there at Posh put it in an envelope with Posh's return address on it. So I get out, I go to my car, and it's been snowing and icing and everything, and so I managed to get in my car, and I put it on the passenger side, and from there I go to Hobby Lobby. And from there, I go to Kroger. And then from there, I get my mail out of my mailbox. And from there, I go in my house. And so I put the envelope that I got from Posh and my mail from the mailbox, and I put it on my desk in the kitchen, and that's on a Wednesday. So on Friday night, I'm getting ready to go somewhere, and I decide that I'm going to put on my necklace. So I immediately go into the kitchen, and I look, and I go through all of the mail where I knew I had left it with the mail in the Posh envelope, and I go through and I look and I look and I look and I look and I can't find it. So I could not believe that I couldn't find it, and I said to Phil, I said, I know that I may have thrown it away. So I proceed to go through the trash. I go through all of the trash in the kitchen. I even go outside in the dumpster because I am convinced I am not going to lose this thing again. And I am convinced in my mind that I have thrown it away. So twice, 2 times, because I can't convince myself, I go through the trash in the kitchen. I go through all the trash in the dumpster. I lay out everything on the front blacktop. I put plastic tablecloths out. I go through spaghetti. I go through old chicken guts. I go through all of this stuff piece by piece to look, and I cannot find my necklace. So I finally resolved, I don't have this. So I even went back. I went back to Hobby Lobby. I retraced my steps. I went in and I talked to the management. I went to Kroger and I looked where I had parked. I looked all through the parking lot. I even called the manager at Hobby Lobby. And I said to the manager, I told him exactly what I had done. And bless his heart, he said it's already been swept now twice, because I think that was on a Wednesday and I maybe even called him on a Monday. But he said the parking lot's already been swept twice, but he said, I'll check. So he later called and told me, he said, I have walked every inch of this parking lot. And he said, I even called who sweeps my lot, even called the man that sweeps the lot, has the little bitty machine. And he said he has even gone to where they empty it and looked through the stuff, and he saw nothing that glistened. He didn't see a necklace or anything. So I called and I made a police report because I didn't know where it was. I didn't know if somebody had taken it. I felt like maybe it had fallen out of my car at one of those places. And so it was totally beyond me, baffling me as to what had happened. So on February the 16th of 19, this is 17 days later, my husband decides on that Saturday that he needs a haircut. So he goes to the same beautician as I went to, and he made the appointment. He goes on Saturday, and he and Crystal are talking about me losing the necklace and it not showing up. So Crystal had been out of town for a few days, so she had not been there, and Phil had waited to go back Saturday when she got back to have the appointment. So he and she are talking about my necklace and how it had been lost. And the lady behind them in the room where she does the eyelashes and the eyebrows and so forth, she comes out with a necklace on her hand, and she said to Phil, "Is this the necklace you are talking about?" And he said, "Yes, yes, yes." Well, he didn't say that. Phil wouldn't act like that, but I would have if I had been there. So anyway, he said, "Yes, where did you find it?" And she said, "I was walking to my car, and it was in the snow and in the ice." She said, "I was getting ready to get in my car, and I saw this envelope in the snow and in the ice, and I went over to pick it up. I saw that it had Posh on the return address." So she said, "I picked it up, saw that it had obviously been run over in a car," which I had run over it in my car because I had taken it to the car and it had dropped out of my hand when I was going to the car. Anyway, she found it and put it in her purse and took it home. And so when she got home, she had taken it out of her purse. She called back. She told me that she called back. And at that time, Crystal was gone, and the owner answered the phone, so she didn't know that it had been lost. So Crystal was gone to see her son, and Nikki did not know that I had lost it. So she takes the necklace home, puts it on her dresser, and leaves it there until my husband comes in the day she puts it in her purse. So it's laying here all this time. Phil goes to get his haircut that same day. She changes purses, puts that necklace back into her purse, brings it that day that Phil shows up and says, is this the necklace? Her husband had told her that day, you need to take this back to work because somebody owns this necklace. So on the day that Phil comes back, she happens to put it in her purse. So anyway, it's mind-blowing to think the way that got back to me. And the thing is I had told women, I had put it on Facebook. Okay, it came to me, I lost it again. And I had women saying to me, Teresa, I'm praying. I asked them, I said, I don't know if you all think I'm crazy or not, but I said, I want you all to pray that my necklace come back. Well, I had almost given up on it. And then this happened, and it came, and when I put it back on Facebook that it had returned, this woman came back to me and she said, Teresa, I've continued to pray for your necklace. I knew that God would bring it back to you. I knew that He did. I knew that you had not permanently lost it. So anyway, the necklace needed only 2 diamonds, and it needed 3 shanks because I had run over it. And it was really not in that bad a shape. It was a little bit twisted, but the man that made the necklace out of the original diamond ring that Phil had given me is Tom Sellers. And I took it, not immediately, but almost immediately to Tom's. And I had told him the story. And I said, Tom, you are not going to believe, but my necklace came home. And I said, can you fix it? He said, yes, I can fix it. It needs 3 shanks and 2 diamonds, and I can get those for you. And so how on earth all of this happened, lost twice and found twice over a period of years and years and years. If there is a verse that I think that goes with this that will give us hope during this coronavirus and the pandemic, the quarantine, it is Psalm 37:23-24. The Lord directs the steps of the godly. This is in the New Living Translation. He delights in every detail of their lives. Though they stumble, they will never fall, for the Lord holds them by His hand. I just think that God delights in every detail of our lives. So regardless of where we are in the pandemic, regardless of how many days we have been in the quarantine, God's going to get us through this because He delights in every detail of our lives. Thank you, God, for the necklace. Thank you, God, for being with us. Love this church. Love you all. Keeping the faith. See you soon, hopefully. Bye-bye.